Hello and welcome back to my Kansas City Royals series here on Out of the Park Baseball. We are back for the postseason here in the year 2024. We're going to be facing the Los Angeles Angels, who were the wild card team. With 87 wins, we're going to have home field advantage this series. There are a number of things to touch on here. And I think the biggest news, which we'll have to talk about in the offseason, is Osmer Morales definitely starting to decline. You can see his ratings still pretty good. Did not have a great season this year, and that BABIP about what it was last year. You can see the strikeouts are clearly down, even though the walks are down. He's giving up more home runs. So this is definitely an actual decline. He's also not throwing as many innings. So you can see he actually averaged under 5 innings per start. So let that sink in. That is bad. That is like real bad. So anyway, that is absolutely a concern. Looks like we're going to be eating a lot of this contract, unfortunately. And, at least it's only going to be 4 more years. That's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not great. Otherwise, though, it's pretty much all good news. So Shohei Ohtani was as promised this year. He should be the MVP unless someone was absolutely unbelievable. You can see he was a 4.2 win pitcher. That unbelievably high ERA plus. And then if we take a look at the batting stats, he was a 3.2 win player as a hitter, which is his second best season as a hitter. You can see he hit 33 home runs, hit almost 300, OPS about 1,000 basically. So that is really, really exciting to see that from Ohtani. You can see Blake Snell had a really good season as well, 3.56 ERA. Axel Jimenez really kept in there, so he's going to be our 4th starter here in the postseason. Did pretty darn well as a starter. You can see the strikeouts. Really the BABIP is what we should be looking at, much lower than what you'd expect. So he was definitely lucky, and I don't really know if he's a long-term starter, but I kind of just figure as long as he's pitching well, let's at least have him in the starting rotation because I don't really trust Carlos Martinez. Definitely not a bad year. Like, if you look at his ERA plus, it's above average. So I'm not wholly disappointed in terms of, us bringing him back, but he's certainly not coming back next year. And then if we take a look at the rest of our bullpen, you can see Mike O'Donnell had a pretty solid rest of the season as our quote-unquote closer. You can see Casilla, had an excellent second half because he had an ERA that was like 7 most of the year, and then you can see it ended up at 4.8. Tim Cate, who we claimed off of waivers from the Red Sox, pitched really, really well with the Red Sox, but I think with us, well, actually, he wasn't bad, 3.24 ERA. So he's someone we're going to be relying on, I think, in the postseason as well. We don't really have that go-to reliever, which is a little bit concerning, but I do think that that's a little bit overblown. It's not the biggest deal in the world if you don't have an excellent reliever in the postseason, I don't think. Anyway, offensively, I think this is where our strengths lie. You can see Nick Pratto, Cole Enright, Vinny Toasty, Griffin Conine, Shohei Ohtani, Brendan Tinsman. I just listed a bunch of players. They were over 3 wins this year. Shea Langoliers and Zermeno over 2 wins. So we really got a ton of production from our offensive players. Even Corona had a 2-win season. He only played half a year. It's great to see some power from the shortstop position finally after years of Madrigal. So really liking how this team is coming along offensively. Jesus Armando Sanchez had just a dreadful second half, or he must have, because he was doing so well. Let's take a look at the batting splits here. So you can see in August hit 200, only hit 1 home run, and in September hit 239. I mean, the slugging percentage is unbelievably low. Basically had a dominant first 2 months and then kind of coasted the rest of the season. So that's definitely concerning. The guy's 27 years old, really good rating. So he definitely should be better than this, but I guess it's about what he hit last year. Of course, again, hit so well with Tampa Bay, comes over our team and just is stinking up the place. So anyway, that's okay. We had a very good season. I haven't even touched on our record. So we were 99-63. We were better than any team in the American League and the National League. We actually had the best record in all of baseball. And in fact, if you take a look at our team history and we sort by wins here, we had the second highest win total in franchise history. So that is pretty cool. The highest win total apparently was in 1977. I assume that was the George Brett years, although I don't really know. Our Pythagorean win-loss was 94 and 68, so we definitely outperformed what we were expected to. But we had a good season. I mean, if we take a look at runs scored, we were second in the American League, and in terms of runs allowed, we were also second. I bet, and yeah, this is true, our starters ERA was actually better than our bullpen ERA. And that's because I think we have a lot of good starting pitching, and the bullpen's just kind of a bunch of random guys. So even though you really expect the bullpen ERA to be better, it was not for us this year, oddly enough. We also have a good defensive team, which is good to see, and we had the most stolen bases, so we do the little things as well. But anyway, I think that's really it for the team overview. Certainly I have changed my mindset a little bit to have the best possible team going into October this year, and I believe that we'll be retaining most of our guys, most of our talent for the next 2-3 years or so, and then I think after that, it's going to be a bit of a decline phase, so we'll have to see if that's something that we want to be here for. At the very least, I'll just sim ahead a bunch of years and just see how all these players turn out down the road, but I'm thinking 2 to 3 more years, depending on how things go. I mean, if we win the World Series this year, who knows? I mean, we can play it by ear about whether or not we want to continue. So anyway, let's take a look at the Angels team. As you can see, they have Dennis Brady, who looks pretty solid, at least for this season. Seth Halverson, you might remember from last year, he was a two-way player, really did not play well this year offensively, so we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, they don't really have a fourth starter. They have Matt Andriese, who didn't really start all year. So anyway, their bullpen looks pretty good on the whole. If we take a look at their lineups, one thing you will notice, they have Paul Goldschmidt, who had a heck of a season, hit 32 home runs. So he is someone who is just pretty incredible. Steele Walker, he was their best player, 5-win player, hit 335. I think I've seen his name in other series. But anyway, Mike Trout, wow, I guess he was injured a lot of the year, but still accumulated 4 wins. I guess no surprise there, but yeah, don't sleep on Mike Trout, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good hitters, I would say, but it's a bit top-heavy. You can see Austin Hedges, Jorge Mateo, and of course Seth Halverson, basically replacement-level players, so that was probably a lot of their issue, and also the back end of this pitching staff does not look too great. As I said before, they were 87 and 75. They beat the Red Sox in the wild card game. They were 8th in runs scored and 4th in runs against. So let's just get the series started, though. So I think this is the batting order that we're going to go with. My thoughts are basically just putting the best hitters at the front of the order. I've heard the third hitter doesn't need to be quite as good, so we're sticking Corona in there. He's still been a pretty good hitter, a lot of power, so anyway, that's just what I'm thinking there. And then as we go through, essentially our lineup is not nearly as deep without Ohtani, but I'm still confident in the lineup we have. And then, of course, Ohtani, an excellent pitcher. So we're going to start him here in Game 1. And the Angels will be starting Dennis Brady, as we discussed. Really worried about the Goldschmidt-Trout combo. But anyway, let's get this game underway. So as always, we will go until runners in scoring position. You can see we get through the top of the first, no problem. Here in the bottom of the first, looks like we get a home run, leadoff home run for Nick Pratto, so that's very exciting. We take the early 1-0 lead, and that is all we get in the inning. So we're through 2 now. Here in the top of the third, Ohtani gets through there. And in the bottom of the third, we have Nick Pratto on third, Conine at first, Jorge Corona at the plate. Let's see what he can do. 0-0 is the count. Ground ball to short. And that is going to end the inning, so the Royals do not score, and it is still 1-0. Ohtani back on the hill, 2 on, 2 out for Shikai Kwan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, he had a pretty good season this year, so a little bit worried. 2 outs, though. Ohtani with the pitch, and it's going to be a passed ball, so it'll now be second and third, 2 runners in scoring position. Now 1-0 the count, fly ball to right field, Conine moving in, he should make the catch, and he does to end the inning, so it is still 1-0. We don't get anything in the bottom of the fourth, but here in the top of the fifth, the Angels have Seth Halverson on second with Austin Hedges at the plate. Let's see what happens here, 2-2, that's going to be a ground ball up the middle into center field, And trying to score is the runner, and he will. So Halverson scores an RBI single from Austin Hedges. And this game is all tied up. So Ohtani at 68 pitches, not really nearing the end of his outing. So I'm going to go till runners in scoring position again. You can see Hedges makes his way into scoring position, and it is 3-0 to Mateo. Not good. And that's going to be ball 4. So let's definitely go into double play depth. And I think we're going to do a mound visit here just to try to calm him down a little bit. Got to get through this inning. 0-2 is the pitch to Goldschmidt, and he strikes out. So 2 gone here in the inning. And of course, it's the dangerous Mike Trout at the plate. 0-1 to him. Another passed ball. There's a lot of passed balls in this game. Anyway, 1-1. Now it's 3-2 to Trout. And that's a ball 4. So, oh my goodness. The bases are loaded for Kevin Mighton. 83 pitches for Ohtani. We are definitely keeping him in the game. 1-2 is the pitch to Mighton. Line base hit into center field, and 2 runs are going to come around and score. So the Angels take the lead 3-1. A big blow there. Steele Walker up next. I'm going to keep Ohtani in the game. That's a ground ball to second. Enright makes the play, and the inning is over. But 2 important runs for the Angels. That might be it for Ohtani. Anyway, here in the bottom half of the inning, we're going to go till runners in scoring position. And it looks like we get a run here, Baddoo with a home run. So it's now a 1-run game again, but we don't get anything else in the inning. So you can see Ohtani, 94 pitches, probably should have warmed someone up. Let's see who we can go to here. A lot of righties in this lineup, so I think we're going to be going to a righty. Thinking maybe Casilla for right now, so let's start warming him up. Probably give another batter or 2 for Ohtani. It's going to be 0-1 to Shikai Quinn, and that's going to be a ground ball to first, and that will be out number 1. Thinking 1 more batter for Ohtani. 1-2 is the count, and he will strike out. So 2 gone in the inning. Let's see if he can just get through the inning. I'm not too worried about Seth Halverson. Ground ball, base hit into center field, so that's going to do it for Ohtani. Ends up throwing over 100 pitches, 102. Let's just do a mound visit to get things moving along here, and we will bring in Casilla. Let's just go the half inning. No other damage there. Go till runners in scoring position, and it looks like a home run from Conine. So just like that, this game is all tied up. But we do not get anything else in the inning. Now the Angels have 2 on and 1 out. That is not good. I'm going to start warming up Mike O'Donnell. It is time to get our best pitcher in the game here. Mighton is at the plate. Let's do a mound visit. He says, obviously it's your call, but I can still pitch. Well, that doesn't make me feel very good. I think 1 more hitter here. So it'll be 0-1 to Mighton. Ground ball in the hole into left field. So the bases are going to be loaded, and I think that is going to do it for Casilla. O'Donnell still warming, but we are going to bring him in against the lefty Steele Walker here. Let's see what can happen. Bases loaded, 1 out. Do we want the infield in? It is the 7th inning. I think we're going to do corners in. Yeah, actually, we're going to do double play depth. So it'll be O'Donnell versus Steele Walker. 3-2 is the count. Oh, my goodness. He strikes out, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. That'll be Shikai Quinn, who does not seem to be very good against left-handed pitchers. Here's the pitch, though. Line to left. Vinny Toasty moving over. He makes the catch, and the inning is over, and this game is still tied, thankfully. So O'Donnell at 9 pitches. He will definitely start the next inning, especially with the bottom half of the order coming up. But we're going to start warming up someone else pretty soon. Let's just go till runners in scoring position. You can see nobody out. We have Langoliers at second, Zermeno at first. Akil Baddoo is the hitter. It's 1-1 to him. And that's a ground ball to second. Could be a double play, but it will just be a fielder's choice. So now 1st and 3rd. Vinny Toasty up next. And that's going to be a grounder to 3rd, and they will get the out at 1st. The run does not score, however. And now it'll be Nick Prado up. 0-1 is the count to him. Ground ball to short, and unfortunately that will end the inning. So the Royals had great positioning, but they do not score. Let's get someone warming up here. I don't really know who to go to. There's just a lot of people who I don't really trust here. Honestly, I think I'm going to go to Story. He wasn't too bad this year. Kind of a new guy, but let's start warming him up. Apparently he's a setup man. Anyway, let's go till runners in scoring position. You can see the Angels have a man on second with 1 out. O'Donnell at 16 pitches, Story not warmed up, so let's do a bit of a mound visit here. Yeah, all right, we're going to do at least one more hitter. It's going to be 2-1 to him, though. Another pass ball. Are you serious? Okay. So apparently Story is ready. It's 3-1. I'm actually going to take O'Donnell out of this game, believe it or not, in the middle of the count. Just not happy with what's happening right now, and I'd like the righty in there. Anyway, we have the infield in, so 3-2 now is the count. Fly ball deep to left field and gone. Home run, and the Angels take the 5-3 lead. That is a dagger. Let's go the rest of the half inning here. Go again till runners in scoring position. We don't get anything there. We're going to have to get someone warming up. Let's do Carlos Martinez. And we get through the 9th, so let's just, we'll just have Martinez in there. And in fact, we'll just put him in the game in case we do go to another inning. I don't really know if there's anyone who I trust more than Martinez, so is what it is. Anyway, let's go batter by batter here for the bottom of the 9th. Langoliers is going to lead it off, and that's a flare out to left field, but it will be caught for the first out of the inning. Zermeno is up next. 1-0 is the count to him, and that's going to be another little flare out to left field, and another out, so 2 gone now. And Akil Baddoo is our last hope. Lined into right center field, that could be out of here, and it is out of here. So his second home run of the game, but we are still losing by 1 run, and Vinny Toasty is at the plate. Do we have a better hitter than Vinny Toasty? I don't actually know. I don't think we do, really. I think I'd just rather have Vinny Toasty hit. Anyway, it is 2-1 to Toasty. Lined into right field, a base hit for Toasty. I think this man is going to be stealing second base. Austin Hedges with a good catcher arm, but let's take a pitch here, and it'll be a pickoff. So we're going to take a pitch. It'll be another pickoff. This is getting a little bit boring. Anyway, the first pitch is going to be a ball, so I feel confident it's not going to be a pitch out. Let's steal second. Toasty is moving, and apparently he's not going to steal. Let's swing away here. So 2-1 is the count to Prado. Ground ball back to the mound, and that's going to end the game. So unfortunately, we lose game 1 by 1 run, and I am not happy about that. Okay, so we lose game 1, unfortunately, so it'll be on to game 2. Blake Snell is going to be on the mound for us this game. All right, so this is going to be our batting order this game. Pretty similar to last game, but obviously with Ohtani in there, we can do something a little bit different. We've got Blake Snell on the mound, and the Angels have Griffin Canning, who did not have a very good season last year. So, I mean, we really need to win this game, no question. Anyway, let's get things started here. So we'll go till runners in scoring position. And here in the bottom of the first, we have a runner on third and a runner on first for Jorge Corona. 1-2 to him, though. Ground ball to first. And very quickly, the inning is over. So the Royals do not score, even though they get men on base. Keep going here to the top of the third. You can see 2 on, 2 out. Kevin Mighton is at the plate. 3-2 is the count to him, and he is going to strike out to end the inning. So Snell gets through the third inning there. Now here in the bottom of the fourth, we get a run. Let's take a look at the game log. Where is the game log? Here's the game log. So we get a run off a Jorge Corona double. He is now at second base. Sanchez is at the plate with 1 out. 3-1 to him. He walks. So now we have 2 men on base. Shea Langoliers up next. 1-0 to him. Ground ball, little weak dribbler to the mound. And they're going to get the force out at second and the out at first for a double play. And just like that, the inning is over. But we do get 1 run at the very least. You can see Snell at 67 pitches so far. He gets through the 5th, though, and here in the bottom of the 5th, now we have 2 men on, 1 out. Griffin Conine at the plate. That is what I like to see. It's 2-2 to him, though, and he strikes out. So 2 gone now for Cole Enright. 1-2 to him, but he hits one deep to left, and it's gone! 3-run homer. Cole Enright puts Kansas City up 4-0. Did not think that had enough to get out of here, but it did. And now we get another run, and Jorge Corona is at second. Looks like he had another RBI double. Let's see what we can do now. That's a fly ball pretty deep to right center field, and it will be caught to end the inning. But with a 5-0 game, we can breathe a little bit easier here. Snell at 75 pitches. Hopefully he can continue to go deep into this game. He gives up a home run. Let's continue, though, so he gets through the 6th inning. So Snell threw 6 at 96 pitches. Did not realize he had that high of a pitch count. Let's get someone up who can eat up some innings, maybe a Jalen Beeks. You know what? Let's get Carlos Martinez in here. So we'll have to go batter by batter. Certainly makes sense for Snell to face Steele Walker anyway. And it is 2-2 to Walker. He will strike out. So great pitching there from Snell. At 101 pitches, let's do a mound visit here. And Carlos Martinez is ready. So let's just bring him into the game and just cross our fingers here. Yep, he gets through the inning, no problem. So the Royals score 3 more runs. That makes me feel a lot better. We get through the 8th. We get another run. And can Martinez finish it off? It's actually 2 men on and 1 out. Let's see if we can just get through this. We've got an 8-run lead. That's going to be a pass ball. Unbelievable. There have been so many pass balls. Anyway, 3-2 is the count, and that's a liner into right center field. So I think we're going to be warming someone up. I wish Martinez could have just gotten through the game. But anyway, it's now 9-3, so it's getting a little too close for my taste. Warm up Gabot here. 1-2 to Adele. He will strike out for the 2nd out. And now Luis Gonzalez is the last man up. Ground ball to second, and Wright makes the play, and the game is over. So the Royals take game 2, 9-3. That was pretty close to a must-win game, so glad that was kind of an easy win there.